is in relation to your transfers and discharges. So transfers and discharges, so this is probably still an issue, I think, for probably all the trusts, and certainly an issue for our trust in relation to who gets transferred, who gets discharged, who gets a discharge readmit, all these things. So the nice thing about the tabs at the top here, which you can see transfer and discharge, is that when you click on them, there should be a box at the top with information about who gets transferred and who gets discharged, those sort of things. So as you can see here, if you're in the inpatient ward in the hospital, they get transferred. Now, those people don't need a transfer note. If you're going from, from one of our wards, you're going from A&E to the stroke ward, you don't need a transfer note. The nursing staff or the bed managers can do their bit about getting the patient transferred in the system. If the patient was maybe going out of ICU, they're being transferred, maybe they'll get a transfer note, or like as the way we would have had in the past, they would have had a discharge letter from ICU. So that makes sense. Now, if they're going to a different trust, then they don't get transferred. I think other than small different little circumstances, but generally, let's say the person's an inpatient in your ward and you're going to be getting transferred to, let's say, Aldegalvin down to Belfast to the Royal, that will be what's called a discharge readmit. So it's a slightly different process. So you can see here this box does sort of explain that the person was, let's say, going from Aldegalvin down to the SWA or Craigavon to Lurgan or things like that, that would be a transfer rather than a discharge. So you can see here, inpatient, same hospital transfers, inpatient wards to a different hospital but the same trust, it's a transfer. If you're going to a different trust, it's a discharge readmit. There are some sort of different circumstances, as you can see here. If you're going to a mental health bed from, let's say, the acute sites, then that would be a little bit different as a discharge readmit. Or if you're going to our Macmillan unit, which is our palliative care unit, they get put down as a discharge readmit as well. Now, a little sort of caveat to all this is your community hospitals. So I'm going to just see here where it says, click on this, the transfer to community hospitals. So again, they do get just transferred. So if someone's in Craigavon and they're going to Lurgan for their rehabilitation, that will still just be a transfer. But what should happen, ideally before they go, at least what we should be doing in our trust, is that they still get a discharge letter. At the minute, if you do a transfer for somebody and they go from like, let's say, Antrim Hospital to Whitehappy Hospital for their rehab, that's just a transfer. But in reality, what we should be doing is that they get like a discharge letter sent to their GP.